Seminoles national champs just a few years ago in 2018. As the Louisville Cardinals getting ready, Gabby Holloway getting the start in the circle for Louisville this afternoon.
Now Louisville turns to the freshman. Give her the ball in the first game of this very important ACC series. She's going to work the lower half of the zone, works a drop curve, a little bit of an off-speed pitch. She's really going to try and feed the defense. Very important for the Louisville infield defense to be airtight today.
Landers leading off for Florida State, an offense that does know how to challenge defenses, don't they, Carol, with the amount of times that this team gets on base and knows how to put defenses under pressure.
Well, they sure do. That's been their game all season long. Find ways on base.
Landers, nice grab, but no play able to be made as Newman gloved it, but could not get it over to first to get Landers out. Taking a look at the Louisville defense. Ornelas, Servey, Newman, and Hurst around the infield. Greenwood, Funky, Butler in the outfield, and Chung behind the plate. Taylor Roby, the designated player for the Cardinals. Sydney Sherrill, two-time All-American, started every game of her career for the redshirt junior out of Moore, Oklahoma.
Well, this is something we expect to see from Florida State quite often today. A runner in motion on the base paths. They take a lot of pride in their base running, work on it in practice daily. Have a good combination of, base running smart, so to speak, and good speed, but this team leads the league in stolen bases.
Landers is on the move to second. The throw got there in time. Great point by you, Carol, and an emphatic statement from Louisville saying, we're ready for it.
Well, that was on the radar of Louisville's team, and Landers gets a great jump, but look how quickly Chung gets rid of the ball. It is a very close play at second base, but Servey slaps the tag down quickly.
First time this season that Landers has been caught. She was a perfect 11 for 11 on stolen bases prior to that play.
And she goes straight in, takes a quick peek of a hit. The run and hit was on, and she goes in hard. It's a very close play with her feet very close to being under that tag of Servey.
Sherrill over to Newman at second, 2 down. Just have to think, Carol, for a team like Louisville, which has had some changes in their infield, has had some plays that they just have not made consistently this year, still to be able to get out that base runner, trying to set the tone in this first inning.
Well, there's no question, and I do not believe that will deter Florida State from continuing to push that envelope, but absolutely, it's in the back of your mind as a coach making that call, as a player. Rebecca Chung definitely setting the tone for her defense. Also like what I'm seeing from Gabby Holloway, her strength is keeping the ball down in the zone, feeding the defense. Even the hit by Landers was a ground ball, showing she's on her game so far today.
3-0 count now, though, to Kaylee Harding. Fourth pitch in for a strike. Seminoles have proven they can be patient, though. Lead the ACC, as you mentioned, in stolen bases, also in walks this season. Big swing and a miss to bring the count full. We welcome those of you joining us, watching a very entertaining field hockey match. North Carolina getting that automatic bid two-time defending NCAA champs, and we welcome you now to Elmer Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. Florida State Seminoles in the top of the first, the 7th-ranked team in the country, top team in the ACC in softball, taking on the Louisville Cardinals in the final home series of the season for Louisville. Gabby Holloway in the circle for Louisville. 2 outs so far, but now a runner on in Harding, and Anna Shellnut up to bat.
You're going to see from Gabby Holloway working the bottom half of the zone, really feeds the defense with a lot of drop curve, off-speed combination.
Shellnut makes some contact, and the play is made by the Louisville defense. So some base runners, but nothing doing for the Seminoles. Bottom of the first coming up. ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified April 18th through the 25th as ACC Unity Week. You can see that represented, both of our teams here today. An initiative we've seen across the ACC sports throughout this season, both the fall and spring and winter seasons. Important initiative. Louisville Cardinals coming up to the plate, and they lead off with quite simply one of the best hitters in the ACC in Carmen Greenwood, followed by Maddie Newman and another big bat in Taylor Roby in that designated player position. But Greenwood coming up to the plate, ranking 2nd in the ACC and batting average 1st in hits coming into this game today.
And she does it in a variety of ways, you know, can bunt, can slap, can hit it over the fence. She has really come on this season for Louisville in the leadoff spot.
Cardinals had a midweek game at Kentucky, their rival. Wound up losing that one in extras. Great back and forth game, and Greenwood was 4 for 5 in that one, so she has continued to swing the bat well. Starting pitcher for Florida State, Catherine Sandercock, the redshirt sophomore, getting the start in game 1 of this doubleheader to start off our series.
She has a lot of big game experience, so every ACC series has this big feel to it, but none too big for Sandercock. And you're going to see coming.
Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, you're just going to see Sandercock also work that bottom part of the zone. And that infield defense has been so solid for her all season long, and she's really looking to feed that defense.
0-2 count to Greenwood. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for the first out.
Yeah, you don't see that very often from Sandercock. You see the fact that she gets ahead of batters, but she's really been working on this rise ball up in the zone just to give a different look, and it completely fools Greenwood. Sometimes it's not how you throw the pitch, it's when you throw the pitch in the count. And after forcing Greenwood to look down in the zone, she gets the strikeout up in the zone.
Maddie Newman now the batter for Louisville. Senior out of Osceola, Indiana. Cardinals looking for a little more help. Greenwood's been great. Roby's been great swinging the bat, but Newman here as of late coming in on a 5-game hit streak. It goes back to Sandercock in the circle. Out number 2.
Well, we mentioned the big game experience Sandercock comes in with. She's pitched a lot of big games throughout her career for Florida State. Really works down in the zone, a drop ball, changeup combination. Also can work up in the zone to change those hitters' eyes, as we saw on the strikeout from Greenwood. Also is an exceptional fielder, fields her position well.
Taylor Roby comes up to the plate now for Louisville. 373 average, 12 home runs on the season. That ranks 2nd in the ACC.
just been steady all season long for Louisville. And what's so impressive about Roby is there's not an opponent in the country that doesn't know her name, and she's circled on the stat sheet, and yet she's still been able to perform.
Does that. Gets a good part of the bat on the ball, sends it out in the outfield, and the Cardinals with the first hit.
If there's one thing you appreciate about a player, it's when they're steady, when they're consistent. Sandercock tries to go up in the zone again. This one does not elevate, does not rise. It's right over the heart of the plate. And when you miss over the heart of the plate against Roby, the result will be a hit.
Rebecca Chung, now the batter for Louisville. Had herself pretty sensational moment last time the Cardinals faced the Seminoles in 2019. Had a walk-off, 2-out, 3-run double to hand Florida State their first ACC series loss since 2012. They'd gone 52 straight series in the ACC without a loss, but Louisville proven they were up to the task, taking 2 of 3 from the Seminoles in 2019.
And we expect a lot of that same type of fight, that battle today and throughout this series over the weekend. Right, and it's a lesson learned, and the game is never over till it's over. There were 9 runs scored in that deciding 7th inning.
So in other words, stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Keep swinging. Good things happen when you swing the bat.
Taking a look around the defense for the Seminoles, and you pointed this out, Carol, how consistent they've been. Sherrill, Muffley, Flaherty, Mason, Shellnut have all been at their positions consistently this season.
They've started all 37 of their games together. Every single game that Florida State has played this year, they have started together. When you have that type of continuity on the infield, it just really helps solidify the defense as Chung draws the walk.
Yeah, that's pretty rare, isn't it, to have all of those positions consistently started by the same players?
It's extremely rare. I mean, just the course of the season, sometimes you move people in and out of the lineup. You get a hot hitter in the lineup, you put them on defense. Sometimes you have an injury, but for Florida State, it has been Sydney Sherrill and company around the infield every single game, including the catcher Shellnut.
Defense could be tested here now with 2 runners on, 2 out. Michaela Hurst, the batter for Louisville. Her first year with the Cardinals after transferring from Utah. Check swing, did go. We're in for a strike anyway, 1-1 the count.
On the top half of the lineup for Louisville, so important for them to find ways to generate some offense. Bottom half of their lineup isn't known as much for their power hitting, their ability to get on base. This is the part of the lineup that can make it happen for Louisville, and they find themselves here in the bottom of the first with a runner already in scoring position.
And Hurst had a good game at Kentucky in that extra innings loss on Wednesday. She went 1 for 3 with a couple of RBI, had a home run early in that game to go along with a sac fly. Hurst. It is caught, an inning over as Flaherty gloves it for out number 3. So we're still scoreless after 1 in Louisville. For so long, Florida State has been the dominant team in the ACC, and they fully recognize the last couple of years in particular that dominance being challenged. But one thing that's helped them is they come into this series on a 15-game win streak. What they did last weekend, Carol, in that series against Syracuse.
especially in terms of the power numbers. 18 home runs through the majority of the season, and in 4 games, they came very close to matching their season total. And their coaching staff is very excited seeing those power numbers come around for Florida State. They've been solid all season long in terms of hits, walks, finding ways to steal bases, but those power numbers coming toward the end of April is huge for this team.
That's one thing that Lonnie Alameda talked to us about earlier today, was just the fact when you asked her what's been so good in this 15-game win streak, she said the offense. And do you feel like, Carol, you know, this team obviously has lofty aspirations, as they do every year, both in the ACC and nationally, winning the national championship in 2018, but do they need a little more of that consistent offensive production than what they've gotten throughout most of this season?
Well, there's no question those power numbers are going to help them. They've been solid all season long in terms of scoring runs, and #1 in stolen bases, #1 in drawing walks. They've created offense, and when you can kind of command offense with one swing of the bat, it's absolutely critical. You want to be able to hit through the lineup as you near the postseason.
Swing and a miss, retires Cassidy Davis for out #1 in the 2nd inning.
Gabby Holloway loves to work the corners of the plate, and this ball tails away from Davis. Great location. You can see Davis reaching for the ball, showing you the type of movement that Holloway had on the pitch.
Devin Flaherty now the batter. Second baseman for the Seminoles, redshirt freshman out of Sarasota, Florida.
Now, one of the keys to Holloway's success is to stay ahead. If she can work from ahead with her drop ball, drop curve, working both sides of the plate, then she can sprinkle in her off-speed pitches a little bit to help keep Florida State off balance.
Ball goes up and over the glove of Holloway and then off the glove in the field of Newman. So Flaherty aboard.
And Holloway does come with the off-speed pitch, but it hangs just enough where Flaherty can get her barrel on it, hit it right back up the box. We've seen both base hits today from Florida State use the infield and really chop the ball over Holloway's head.
Josie Muffley, the shortstop, and the defense, knowing they need to be prepared. They caught a runner trying to steal in the 1st inning as Landers was gunned down by Chung behind the plate. And now Flaherty, certainly a threat, 13 for 13 on stolen bases this season.
I mean, that has been their game this year. They are able to steal bases, #1 in the league. They like to hit and run and hit, put runners in motion, and I do not see them deterring that part of their game after one stolen base, base runner that was throwing out, trying to steal a base, but Chung certainly made a statement early.
That was a very close play for Landers. Tag getting there just in time.
Well, that's what Florida State can do to you on offense. You never know when they're going to move the runner. And so you're always on your toes. You have what I call a busy mind in the infield. If you're playing infield defense against Florida State, you're always thinking about fielding the ball, defending the steal. Could the steal second? Could steal third? The hit and run. They're just always putting that pressure on the defense. And when you create a busy mind and some moving parts for the infield defense, you're going to have success.
Of course, first you have to figure out how to get on base. Another strikeout, second of this inning for Holloway. Sunday at 2 Eastern, we've got a crucial ACC men's lacrosse matchup for you. #2 Notre Dame visits #4 North Carolina right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. And there is no ACC men's lacrosse tournament this season, so the automatic qualifier for the ACC will go to the regular season champion. Duke currently in first place, and all 5 ACC teams in the top 10, the latest RPI. Elizabeth Mason, diving play made at third by Ornelas. Excellent way to end the inning for the Louisville defense.
And Ornelas plays the hot corner in there for her defense. Flash in the leather ends the inning. We're all tied in Louisville.
I want to take you back to the last time these two teams met. It was 2019, Game 3 of the series on the line, and Florida State took the lead with a grand slam by Sydney Sherrill in the top of the 7th inning, Carol, but not over yet.
We go to the bottom of the 7th, and it's Rebecca Chung with a 2-out bases clearing double to walk it off for Louisville. Not only did they win the game, they won the series against Florida State.
And as dominant as the Seminoles have been in the ACC, that does not happen much. That was their first ACC series loss since 2012. They'd gone 52 straight without a loss prior to that in 2019. So they all know that this Louisville team's going to play them tough. That's one of the things Lonnie Alameda told us when we talked to her this morning. No, the Cardinals are going to come here and put up a fight, especially knowing they are fighting to stay in good positioning for the ACC tournament. This is their final home series to get it done.
Well, this Louisville team is battle tested. They have played a very challenging schedule all season long. They are prepared. For them, it's kind of turn the page. Oh, we're playing another ranked opponent. Turn the page. Oh, okay, and another ranked opponent. And so they haven't been on the winning side of as many as they'd like, but they certainly have been in a lot of those games. They've all been very close.
Yeah, their third-year head coach, Holly April, telling us, I think the team might have felt a little overwhelmed at times with the challenging schedule that they put together. But what she has tried to tell them is exactly what you just said. Look, we've been through it. We know we can do this. Charlie Butler off to a good start in the 2nd inning for Louisville.
And a lot of times it's taking what the pitcher gives you. This pitch is low on the outer part of the plate. Butler doesn't try to do too much to it, just gets the bat to the ball quickly and finds a gap up the middle.
Senior Celine Funky, now the batter. And this is one of those players, I know you've seen her a lot throughout her career, Carol, who has just struggled at the plate this year. Just 149 batting average coming into this game. But what a key she can be if she's able to turn things around late.
Well, there's no question she's been the leader of this team and this program throughout her career. Her time at Louisville, came back for her 5th year, started graduate school, and has been a mainstay in center field, been a mainstay at the top of the lineup today, batting in this, as you mentioned, has struggled a little bit in the 7 spot in the lineup, but it's been tough for her. She's having a hard time getting out of it.
Tries to leg this one out, cannot get there in time, but Butler able to advance to 2nd.
Now that's still a very productive out for Celine Funky. Puts the ball on the ground. Sandercock shows you what a good fielder she is. Doesn't take the time to lift the ball up to the throwing position, just scoops it over to first. But a productive out for Funky as she moves another runner into scoring position for Louisville.
So now in each of our first 2 innings, Cardinals with runners in scoring position. And Gabby Holloway at the plate. Holloway swinging at the first pitch, and I'll be out number 2. Sunday at noon Eastern, we'll have the 3rd game of this 4-game series between 7th-ranked Florida State and Louisville for you right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Weather kind of switched around our schedule a little bit. wound up with a doubleheader going on here today. Our second game will be on ACC Network Extra and the ESPN app. And then we'll have the doubleheader on Sunday with Game 3 getting you started early on ACC Network at noon. Bottom of the order now, and Jenna Servey, the batter for Louisville. 2 outs, Butler on second.
Well, Servey, look where the outfield is positioning for Servey. Only 3 hits on the season and none for extra bases. So they're able to actually shorten the outfield, shorten the field, give them a better opportunity to be able to make that play at the plate if they need to.
Yeah, you said it earlier that this bottom part of the lineup has really struggled to produce much for Louisville this season. Part of the reason for their inconsistency, coming in with a record of 16-21, 10-15 in ACC play. Throw to second, but Butler back in time.
Servey in the 9 spot, just fighting to make something happen for her team. Sometimes she's been in the batting order, other times she's been defense only, been in that flex position, gets the chance today to be the 9 batter. Trying to make something happen for her team. As we know, on deck is Cameron, Greenwood, the leading hitter in the ACC.
Will not get it to Greenwood this time around. She'll lead off the next inning as the strikeout will sit down Servey. And third inning coming up from Louisville, still scoreless between the Cardinals and the Seminoles. Florida State still scoreless here at Louisville in the first game of this 4-game series. The Seminoles, the top team in the ACC yet again in softball. And how about soccer? That's right, we're getting an NCAA women's soccer tournament coming up in May. We'll have the College Cup, and Florida State, the #1 overall seed after winning the ACC tournament championship, 7th time in program history. Seminoles have done that, so looking forward to little fall-spring mix getting going. Florida State getting a bye, as the top 16 seeds will get in this 48-team NCAA tournament. Quick out #1 as Morgan hits it into the outfield and is retired. That was Danny Morgan in the 9 spot, and then I'll turn the lineup over to the top. And Kirsten Landers coming up to the plate. Landers singled to start off this game and then was caught stealing.
One of the keys to beating any team is to keep the runners offense off base, but it's especially true with Florida State, as they love to steal bases, love to put runners in motion, hit and run. And so far, Holloway's done a nice job of minimizing the damage, minimizing the amount of base runners in this game. Her defense has played very well behind her.
And you imagine both coaches had to be prepared to shuffle things up a little bit when they found out they were going to have a doubleheader today. It was supposed to just be 1 game today, 2 games tomorrow, and then a game on Sunday. Instead, it's a doubleheader today and a doubleheader Sunday with weather expected in the area tomorrow. So I would imagine, Carol, as a coach, that does impact kind of how you think about who you're going to pitch and how you have to think about multiple games at a time when making your lineup card.
Oh, there's no question, especially with your pitching staff. And, you know, with the ACC playing a 4-game series, you're going to see a lot of each other anyway, but especially with those pitching staff, you want to limit the amount of work that has to happen on a doubleheader day. If you can have a pitcher go a complete game and save another arm for game 2, and that pitcher can go a complete game, you've got someone who's very fresh and who the offense hasn't seen coming into game 3.
2-2 pitch. Just outside, full count.
This is one thing Florida State will make you do, is come over the plate. They laid the ACC in walks. That's a fantastic location from Holloway. It does just go off the plate, but not by much.
Landers hits it over to Hurst at first, 2 down. Coming up later, the ACC spring football schedule rolls on with Georgia Tech's game at 6 Eastern. And Saturday, we'll finish off the schedule with a tripleheader. Boston College at 11 a.m. Eastern, then Pittsburgh at 1, and North Carolina caps the afternoon at 3 o'clock. All 4 games right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Sydney Sherrill, now the batter. All-American for the Seminoles. One of 5 players in this starting lineup for Florida State who are a part of that 2018 NCAA championship team.
Yeah, if you follow Florida State and followed that championship run, you feel like Sydney Sherrill and Elizabeth Mason and Shellnut, been there forever.
Deep ball, and actually misjudged by Funky in center. She was climbing the wall to make the catch and didn't quite have to get that far. So Sherrill will take the double.
Well, the fence at Louisville is taller than most fences. And so if Funky would have climbed this fence and actually caught the ball, that would have been truly amazing. It's a great swing by Sydney Sherrill. Gets the ball elevated to the deepest part of the park. It hits off the fence. And Funky takes a quick look, but she's not even looking for the ball. She's looking at the fence. Try and brace her fall, but no chance to make the catch as she took her eye off the ball. A double for Sherrill.
It was a little eerily reminiscent of that flashback we showed you from 2019 when Sherrill had the grand slam in the top of the 7th. And remember Funky back there climbing up the wall, trying to make the catch on that one, which was not catchable. It was out of the park. Louisville would come back to win that. This a little more shallow, tough play to make. Newman can't do it. And Florida State wastes no time taking advantage and scoring the first run.
After seeing Sherrill absolutely blast one off the fence, this time for Harding, doesn't get a good piece of the ball, comes off it, and it's just outside of the reach. It does hit her glove, but Newman is looking up in the air, reaching at the last second for the ball, can't make the play, and that is a 2-out run for Florida State.
So just like that, a couple of defensive miscues, and Florida State takes advantage. Shellnut is retired, but the Seminoles take the lead.
Watch me do what I do. I'm in charge. I make the rules. I ain't got nothing to prove. I'm in charge. I run the school.
ACC tournament coming your way. We'll have every pitch May 12th through 15th on our ESPN family of networks between ACC Network and ESPN2. And wonder, Carol, will somebody break into that streak of championships for Florida State? They've won 6 in a row. Can someone challenge the Seminoles' dominance?
Well, as I repeat what Coach Lonnie Alameda said to us this morning. It's a different ACC this year. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for teams. 4 teams currently ranked in the top 25 with Duke, Virginia Tech, Clemson, along with Florida State. It's going to be a fantastic tournament.
First time we'll get to see the Clemson Tigers in the ACC tournament, as their program began last year officially, and of course no postseason in the shortened 2020 season. And the Louisville Cardinals getting the opportunity to play the ACC tournament on their home field, as long as they can stay in that top 10 in the standings. Came into this series in 7th. This is the leadoff hitter. And you were right, Carol. Carmen Greenwood, you had it right. Leading off for the Cardinals, senior out of Birmingham, Alabama. Trying to extend her 7-game hit streak. Pops it up. 3 Seminoles around it. Who wants it? Well, eventually it is Muffley who wins out and makes the catch.
That's a big out for Florida State. Not only is it the leadoff out of an inning, which is the goal for every team, to try to shorten that inning, not allow that rally to start, but it's Carmen Greenwood, who is the ACC leader in hits, to retire her. It's a huge out for Florida State here in the 3rd inning.
Maddie Newman now the batter. She hit it back to the pitcher, Catherine Sandercock, in her first at bat. She too comes in with a hit in each of her last 5 games.
She's another hitter for Louisville. That's so important to find a way on base. She has tremendous speed. And she's moved up in the lineup here. Typically Funky's been in the 2 position, but she's been very consistent the last few games.
I love the demeanor of Sandercock in the circle. You know, it's so interesting. Some pitchers are really intense. Some have that game face on the whole time. And she's sort of easy breezy, has a little smile on her face, looking out at her teammates in between pitches.
Every pitcher kind of has that sweet spot, you know. Some have that game face 24/7, and some are fired up and pointing at the catcher. And you have to find that sweet spot as Sandercock gets the strikeout against Newman. You have to find that sweet spot and pitch to your strengths, not try to be somebody else. Just find that mental fortitude and find yourself in there and try and stay there the entire game. And Sandercock's going to work the outside part of the plate. This ball is running away from Newman, a little bit of tail on it.
That is Taylor Roby, and the Florida State defense doing its job. 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Seminoles. Just 10 pitches thrown by Sandercock as the Seminoles lead it by 1. The ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified April 18th through the 25th as ACC Unity Week. All of these young student athletes very aware of the happenings outside the lines of their sport. I think we've all been made a little more aware of that over the past year or so. See that represented, a lot of their warm-up shirts, and I've seen that really throughout the school year across the ACC. Unity Week, wonderful initiative. Cassidy Davis, the first batter for Florida State in the inning, and she is retired as Newman makes the play.
I was very impressed today with Gabby Holloway. Her ability to keep the ball down in the zone. There's only been a couple balls that have been hit hard off her. She's really kind of pitched to contact and fed her defense. She loves to work that bottom part of the zone and has been Just very solid so far today in the circle.
The freshman now facing off against another freshman, redshirt freshman, Devin Flaherty for Florida State. Flaherty really showing off her versatility in the shortened season in 2020. Started at 5 different positions last year. First base, second base, left field, shortstop, right field. Just the second player under Lonnie Alameda to start at 5 different positions, and the first one to do so without one of those 5 being DP.
Just shows what a good athlete she is. And you know, the more positions you play, the more opportunity you have to get on the field. And Flaherty, one of the best at that.
And Flaherty just being patient, gets the 4-pitch walk. Seminoles, good eye at the plate, lead the ACC in walks.
It's been so impressive, their ability to manufacture runs this season. Walks, hit by pitch, stolen bases, singles, finding ways to score. And I just love the aggressive mindset of the Florida State staff. They already put Flaherty in motion. We saw in the first inning the Chung-Servey exchange on the throw to second base. Did get Landers on the steal, but that is Florida State's game, putting runners in motion, creating moving parts. But look at those numbers, tops in the ACC, stolen bases, walks. They're just finding ways to create opportunities.
Muffley cannot keep it fair. That would have been trouble had it stayed in between the lines. Yeah, we talked earlier, Carol, about the incredible power numbers from Florida State's last series against Syracuse, where they hit 13 home runs, and they'd only hit 18 home runs in their previous 33 games of the season. So the long ball has not consistently been what's getting it done for Florida State. It's a lot of that small ball and patience at the plate and being smart about taking what they're being given.
And when you have solid pitching and solid defense, what Florida State has had all season long, and you can manufacture runs, you're going to win ball games. But now that they've added that power element to their game, it's going to help even more.
Hit it back to the pitcher there. So Muffley is out number 2. And Holloway fields it.
It's again just pitching to contact. It's a hit and run. So the runner is in motion, and Muffley's just trying to pop the ball through the infield, but it's low and in the dirt, and all she can really do with it is hit a weak ground ball back to the pitcher.
It does advance Flaherty to second, though, and you can see Flaherty jumping around in your screen. Mentioned it before, but most of these Florida State Seminoles a threat to steal bases. She's probably one of the biggest. A perfect 13 for 13 on the season.
Yeah, there's no question. And as you mentioned, still a productive out for Muffley, because when you have the speed of Florida State and their aggressive base running, something they buy into, they believe in, they work on base running a lot, very smart, aggressive base runners. You've got a chance to score, especially with 2 outs. It's going to be really difficult to put the stop sign up with Flaherty at second base, just because of their speed, their ability to force plays.
3-0 count now to Elizabeth Mason. She hits it, and it does make its way to the outfield. Flaherty not slowing down at all. She's going to get in safely, and the Seminoles double the lead.
Another 2-out RBI for Florida State. This is a 3-0 pitch. It's a green light for Mason. She finds a way in the gap, and as we mentioned, there is no stop sign. Keeps her feet moving. A solid turn at third base, and this is where Florida State is a difference maker. Mason does not hesitate, gets all the way to second base on the single.
And a great call by you, Carol. The fact that Florida State has manufactured both of the runs in this game with 2 outs. Danny Morgan, 9-hole hitter for the Seminoles, pops it to Newman. That will end the inning, but not before Florida State adds another run on the board. Louisville needs a couple to keep up. 7th-ranked Florida State leading Louisville 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Seminoles getting a run in the 3rd and a run in the 4th. And Catherine Sandercock has done well in the circle for the Seminoles so far today. Rebecca Chung, the batter for the Cardinals. She walked in her first plate appearance back in the 1st. Louisville has threatened. They had runners in scoring position in each of the first 2 innings.
And that's been the difference in this ball game. Both teams with runners in scoring position. Florida State with the timely hitting and the 2-out RBI.
Chung to Muffley, 1 down.
Hey, you take a look at Sandercock and you see her success. Coming into this game, a 1.3 ERA, but does not have a lot of strikeouts. Comes in 91 innings pitched, just 63 strikeouts, but she does exactly what you saw against Chung. Hits her spots, has the ball moving through the zone, and really pitches to contact, feeds her defense for the out.
And
so she
seems to have a very good time doing it too, Carol. Sorry, I can't get over. I love she's dancing in there, little shimmy, a lot of smiles.
And why not when you're pitching like she is today, just feeling in her element. You see a lot of mishit balls from the opponents, and today specifically from Louisville, and that's because her ball is moving through the zone. She's throwing strikes, staying ahead of hitters, working both parts of the plate, and not getting, the Louisville hitters are not able to make good contact because of the movement and the location of the ball.
2-1 the count now to Michaela Hurst. 5'10" sophomore out of St. Louis, Missouri. In her first year with the Cardinals after transferring from Utah, where she spent 2 years. Hurst popped up in her first at bat, does so again, long run, but Morgan makes the catch. We will have the series finale coming your way, and it's a doubleheader on Sunday. We'll have the first game for you of that doubleheader on Sunday between Florida State and Louisville right here on ACC Network at noon. It's also on the ESPN app, and that's where you can find the second game on ACC Network Extra and the ESPN app of that doubleheader. A couple doubleheaders of this series, the way that the weather forced some changes. Doubleheader today. Day off for the 2 teams tomorrow with some rain expected in the area, and then a doubleheader on Sunday. Charlie Butler singled in the 2nd inning. Got as far as 2nd, but Cardinals couldn't continue to move her around. She puts it in the air, and another outfield out, and another 1-2-3 inning. Seminole defense doing the job. Florida State Seminoles have scored a run in each of the last 2 innings to lead this 2-0. First, it was Sydney Sherrill in the 3rd, bounces it off the wall for a double that put her on. setting up Harding, and Kaylee Harding with the RBI single.
Now that put Florida State up by 1, and they weren't done yet. Heading into the 4th inning, this time with Flaherty drawn the walk. She's in scoring position at second base. Mason takes a 3-0 pitch, a single up the middle. Florida State scores another run, 2-0 Seminoles as we head into the 5th.
Both of those runs coming with 2 outs as well. Florida State at 19-2 in ACC play this season. They sit atop the standings. And we're back to the top of the lineup for the Seminoles, and Kirsten Landers. Landers to center. It is off the glove of Funky. And Landers scurries all the way over to second.
Well, this is what makes Landers so difficult to defend. She can bunt, slap, and power it over the center fielder, Funky, who times her jump, can't make the play. And once again, Florida State has the leadoff batter on, the runner in scoring position.
That sets up Sydney Sherrill. We showed you doubled, came around to score in the 3rd. Hitting those doubles, sometimes she's done quite a lot in her career. In fact, with that double in the 3rd, that was the 59th of her career, more than any player in ACC history. Sherrill hits it hard. It's bobbled at first, and then Newman does not get there to cover. And you see a little bit here of both the pressure Florida State could put on you, Carol, and sometimes Louisville just not able to make that basic play.
Well, and we're seeing some very hard contact against Holloway now after kind of controlling the Florida State hitters. This one, Hurst just can't come up with it. It's hit right to her, and Maddie Newman is not able to get over in time. And here comes Florida State. Runners at first and third, nobody out. Those are the plays. You're absolutely right, Jen. With a team like Florida State, tied for 7th in the country, currently 1st place in the ACC, and the ball's hit right to you, got to come up with that play. Step on first base for the out.
So Sherrill reaches on the error by Hurst. And that sets up Kaylee Harding, who's reached in each of her first 2 plate appearances, a walk and that RBI single in the 3rd. Harding, just a freshman, but leading the Seminoles in a number of offensive categories. Batting average, tied for the lead in hits. Also has doubles, triples, RBI. Best amongst the Seminoles.
Once again, Florida State doing what they do, taking the extra base. If there's a base open, they are going to put their runners in motion. The majority of their lineup can run. And with Louisville not running a play there, was an easy steal for Sydney Sherrill.
Both runners in scoring position now. Lonnie Alameda talking about this Florida State team having to figure out how to live with the ever high expectations that have come with the dominance that her program has produced in the ACC. In the last 184 regular season games, they've won 90% of them. 164 in 20. in the ACC regular season. Harding in the dirt, and the throw home, but it bounces off Chung's glove. One scores, there's another. You flinch, Florida State will make you pay.
This is what Florida State has been doing all season long. It's a contact play. Landers is going on contact, but she's trying to get in a rundown. She knows the throw beat her, but Louisville cannot come up with the play. And good, aggressive heads-up base running, knowing that the ball is behind to the backstop. Florida State scores 2 runs, showing you again how they manufacture runs, create pressure for the defense. And you blink and they've doubled the score.
So Harding on second after both Landers and Sherrill score. Still no outs, and Anna Shellnut the batter. Another ball bounces away from Chung. And Harding to third.
This is a drop ball that's going to get away from Holloway. Releases it too soon. And Chung doesn't turn her glove over. She tries to pick the ball. And that can get catchers in trouble. You don't turn your glove over, get your body in front of it, block the ball, prevent the runner from advancing 60 feet.
The bunt laid down, the run scores, no play to be made.
You think you better be on your toes and you play Florida State. This is the 4 batter with nobody out, perfectly executing a squeeze play. And that is what Florida State does. They are aggressive, they catch you off guard, they do the unexpected, and most importantly, they execute the first time, so the element of surprise is always in play for Florida State.
This inning thus far, the most damage done by Florida State. Cassidy Davis the batter. And Florida State making the most of those runners getting on. 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position today. Davis retired for the first out of the inning.
Louisville elects to stick with Holloway in this game, and you can see this pitch is outside of the zone, but it has late break to the outside of the zone, and that forces Davis to protect with 2 strikes. A big strikeout for Holloway.
Third of the game for Holloway. Had a couple back in the second inning as well. Devin Flaherty the batter. Second baseman for the Seminoles. There is some action in the bullpen for Louisville. Peyton Hudson, sophomore righty, getting warm. Flaherty pops it out to center, excuse me, where Funky makes the catch. Holloway and the Cardinals just trying to get out of this inning with no further damage done. Josie Muffley back to Holloway, who does just that. So she retires the last 3 in order, but before that, the Seminoles doing what they do. They add 3 more runs. They now lead it by 5. Let's take a look at today's Player Spotlight, brought to you by New York Life. And we want to focus in on one of the Louisville pitchers, Jennifer Linhart, a graduate student in her first year with the program. Started her career at the University of Southern Indiana, where she was extremely successful, as you can see, all-time leader in wins, strikeouts, shutouts. She was a multi-time All-American, won a Division II national championship. And now, as she comes to Louisville, already has her degree. She's in the Louisville School of Dentistry. So certainly impressive what she has done. She was a member of that senior class award list. It was just narrowed down today. She was not in the final 10, but was in the top 30 semifinalists for seniors across the country. So what an incredible and impressive addition she's been, coming back home to her hometown of Louisville. I expect we will see her at some point in this 4-game series against the Seminoles. Cillian Funky, the center fielder from Carmel, Indiana, leading off the inning for the Cards. Down in the 7th spot in the order, as she's struggled at the plate here as of late. Last 6 games coming in, just 1 for 18.
And she is such a difference maker for this Cardinal offense. Her entire career just pushes the envelope when she gets on base with stolen bases. Just having a tough time.
Strikes out in that at bat. Sandercock just working away. 10 of 16 first pitch strikes in this game so far.
She has been in complete command, working from ahead, as you just mentioned, stretching the zone, really controlling the Louisville offense.
Holly April speaking to the umpire and making a change. It was Holloway's spot in the lineup, but a pinch hitter is Taryn Weddle, the 5'8" freshman out of Georgetown, Indiana, coming to the plate. Weddle hits it to Flaherty at second, 2 down.
And this Florida State infield is, as we mentioned earlier, they have had the same starting infield every single game of the season. First, second, short, third, and catcher. And when you have that kind of continuity, you just kind of know, you read each other, you know where the other person's going to be. You feel very confident in each other's range. And the way Sandercock is pitching today, she's just feeding that infield defense. Working together.
Jenna Servey, the batter, in the 9th spot for Louisville as we get late in this first game of the doubleheader. You can catch the next game on the ESPN app to follow approximately 30 minutes after the completion of this one.
And I really love that Sandercock is using all her pitches today. She mainly likes to work down in the zone, off speed, stretch in and out. She used that rise ball a little bit more today.
Nothing doing for Servey as the infield once again makes the play. We haven't seen a base runner for the Cardinals in the 2nd inning as Florida State. Big 5th inning for Florida State. Let's look back on it. Harding making it hard for the defense to make the right choice, and they don't. 2-run score here.
Well, just a good aggressive base running play, and to follow that up, how about the cleanup hitter executing the perfect squeeze? That's Anna Shellnut with the RBI to score Harding. And Florida State doing what they do. They had one ball on a base hit leave, go to the outfield and leave the infield, yet they score 3 runs because of their aggressive base running.
New pitcher now for the Louisville Cardinals. And in fact, it was the pitcher we were just telling you about in a New York Life Player Spotlight, Jennifer Linhart, coming on in relief. Mason, dribbler, bobbled, no play.
That's a change of pace for Louisville as they bring in Linhart. She's thrown a lot of innings so far for Louisville. Just brings a fiery attitude. You're going to see her work east and west in the zone, screwball, curveball combination. Really has a little upspin on all of her pitches, so she really pounds that upper half of the strike zone.
Ruled a hit for Mason. Now Morgan, the batter for Florida State, redshirt senior out of Noonan, Georgia. Danny Morgan, center fielder, still looking for her first hit of this game.
And you can see already Linhart works at a very different tempo than Holloway. Gets the ball, gets the sign, and off she goes. Really works from ahead.
Holloway's day is done, but the freshman pitching 5 innings, and note just 2 of the runs scored against her earned. Pop up, Chung late breaking after it, nobody able to make the catch.
Another one of the toughest plays for a catcher. You've got your gear on, you're looking to catch the ball, and typically you have an idea if it's an inside or outside pitch, you're going to go one way or the other, but it is very easy to get turned around back there, especially on a low fly ball like that.
Morgan finds a hole, gets out into right field. Butler bobbles, but Mason will hold up at third, so runners on the corners for the Seminoles.
Well, this ball that Morgan takes the other way is actually in front. Charlie Butler comes to field the ball, but Elizabeth Mason, watch this base running. Remember, the ball is in front in right field, but Florida State and Mason, they do not hesitate. They're always looking to take that extra 60 feet, forcing the action. They never stop themselves as a base runner. They force the defense to stop them. Once again, they find themselves with a runner in scoring position.
Couple of singles to start off the inning for Florida State, and Louisville not going to attempt to get Morgan as she makes her way to second.
Even in this situation with Landers up, talked about earlier, the infield defense having busy minds, moving parts. Well, you don't know if Landers is going to drop another bunt, as we saw, slap, swing away. So there's Florida State just keeps the defense on their heels, keeps them guessing. And on top of that, they're usually going to have a runner in motion if they can. And so it's just very impressive what this offense has been able to do and manufacture runs.
Meanwhile, Linhart just trying to settle in.
Throwing with a great deal of velocity. This is a screwball. Good break on the ball, spinning away from Landers.
Finally does get an out as Landers strikes out.
This is why she's a strikeout pitcher. Just attacks the zone, but it's got good velocity, late break. Had success with it on the previous pitch, came right back to it. And when you think about Linhart, this is a player that not only comes into the program here at Louisville for 1 year, but she's won a national championship. You can't teach that winning experience, that winning feeling, and that fire that she brings every day.
Yeah, certainly that's something Florida State knows all about. As I mentioned before, Sydney Sherrill, one of 5 in this starting lineup for Florida State, who were a part of that 2018 NCAA championship team for the Seminoles. Sherrill with another hit and an RBI. A couple of them, in fact. So Sherrill having a big day at the plate for the Seminoles. Broke the ACC record for doubles earlier in the game and just keeps on adding to her record.
Sherrill has just an elite hitter. Look how balanced she is. Hits the ball where it's pitched. It's elevated and up in the zone, so she's able to use her power and drive it all the way to the fence. No hesitation there from Mason as she easily crosses the plate, and Florida State extends this lead to 7.
Kaylee Harding. High fly ball to center. Sherrill ready to tag and go. Did not get a good jump on it, but the throw really did not give Ornelas a chance to make a play. Sherrill, big smiles as she collects herself.
Well, there's not many teams that would be this aggressive. I mean, this is a fly ball right to the center field position. And Funky does not get her body around it, so she's moving into third base. But this, if Florida State's going to make an out, it's going to be an aggressive out. They're not just going to stay at second base. They're going to push that envelope, try to get to third.
Pinch hitter now for the Seminoles. This is Anna Shelnutt's spot in the lineup, but it'll be the redshirt freshman Kaya Lopresti. And Lopresti actually saw a good amount of time behind the plate as catcher for the Seminoles last year when Shelnut was hurt in February.
Well, this is a good opportunity for Florida State with the lead they currently have late in the game to give opportunities to hitters off the bench, give them more, especially with a runner in scoring position. You know this is going to happen in the postseason. You're going to need to call on somebody from the bench, and the more opportunities you can give them in the regular season so they feel more comfortable. They've been there, done that, the better.
Good looking pitch, and it gets Lopresti looking. So that'll end the inning, but Louisville with some work to do. Their big batters coming to the plate in the bottom of the 6th.
Can you hear that?
Touchdown, Clemson, 67 yards, Trevor Lawrence.
Next chapter.
NFL Draft begins Thursday on ESPN and ABC.
Trevor Lawrence ready to rock. The Clemson quarterback, by all accounts, looking to be headed to Jacksonville. They have the first pick in the upcoming NFL Draft. We'll see. We've seen a lot of mock drafts. We're ready for the real thing coming your way on Thursday. Could be a big day for the ACC and the Tigers. New pitcher now for the Seminoles is Danielle Watson. She comes on in relief for Catherine Sandercock. Had the shutout going to this point. Carmen Greenwood, top of the order. Out number 1.
Florida State getting Danielle Watson in the circle late in this game. You're going to see her with a rise ball, fastball combination, a real power pitcher. You're not going to see as much off speed from Danielle Watson. Very competitive in the circle.
But this is a player who Lonnie Alameda definitely wanted to see how she could handle the emotion of this series, because Watson, a former Louisville Cardinal, spent 2 years, 2018-19 at Louisville, transferred and sat out 2020. And both sides saying they knew this would be a little strange, seeing her in that Florida State uniform in this series in particular.
Well, the emotions are high. When you think about how many pitches Danielle Watson's thrown off that pitcher's plate, it's been quite a few, so it's familiar territory, but yet, you know, in a different uniform, different team, and learning to control those emotions. Play with emotion, but not be emotional is what Coach Lonnie Alameda challenged her to do.
Not easy to do, I would imagine. So a good situation, you would think, as you see her numbers at Louisville, both for those 2 years and then so far this year, perfect 6-0 for Florida State. Newman to the second baseman, Flaherty. 2 down.
Oh, and Watson has really worked from ahead with both of the batters she's faced. And that's going to go a long way in kind of settling down those emotions. Take a deep breath. Settle in.
Taylor Roby, the other big threat in this Louisville lineup. 2 outs now, though. Our team down 7, but remember, this is a doubleheader, so perhaps a little momentum here could go a long way, and Roby can hit the ball a long way. Not quite long enough this time, as that is 15 straight Louisville players retired by the Florida State pitching staff.
We talk about Kayla Kowalik enough at all. I don't even think if we've talked about her. How far can you go with a one-headed monster?
They gave every other team hope that they can beat Oklahoma.
Too many benevolent balls, too many walks.
If you're intimidated, you're done.
Amanda, if you strike me out once, you're not going to do it again.
If you love softball, you know you need to listen in to the 7 Innings podcast, and you can send questions in as well, as Kristen Johnson did this week on Twitter, asking Carol, should college softball get rid of the 8-run rule? What say you to that question?
Well, this has been talked about for many, many years. I am definitely in favor. I know it's different and everyone's used to that being the case, but there's not many sports that just kind of end the game because one team is ahead by too many runs, so to speak. And in this day and age in college softball with the hitters, we've all seen teams can put up a lot of runs, a lot of hits in one inning. So it's never really over till it's over. It's also a little confusing. Fans buy a ticket to the game. They expect to see 7 innings. It's over in 5. It's a little bit confusing.
Well, you make a good case, but I'm sure that will be interesting to see. And I know in your role with the NFCA, this is a topic of discussion. New pitcher in the game for Louisville is Peyton Hudson. It's the 3rd Cardinal pitcher we've seen today.
Now bringing in Peyton Hudson just to keep these hitters off balance. You're going to see her work down in the zone. A lot more spin over speed. She's not going to blow it by you with her velocity, but very steady and around the strike zone.
Cassidy Davis is the leadoff hitter for Florida State in this inning. Davis makes some contact. It was a 3-0 count and she was swinging away. Has her first hit of the game. Good stop by Chung behind the plate. Keeping a close eye on Davis over there at first. And make that Kaylee Mudge, the pinch hitter who is in there for Davis. So my apologies on that. Mudge, redshirt freshman, over at first.
Florida State getting the opportunity to really go deep into their bench and give people opportunities. And Mudge makes the most of it. And the same with Louisville, being able to bring in this is the third pitcher of the game we've seen now for Louisville. You mentioned earlier, this is a doubleheader day. So you want to just managing the load on these athletes, and the amount of wear and tear is just as important as anything today. It's critical for success. So you haven't seen a lot of work from Linhart. You haven't seen Jayla Roby at all in the circle yet for Louisville, but I can promise you we will see them throughout this 4-game series, more than likely in the second game of this doubleheader.
Flaherty on the full count will walk. This 4-game series shuffled around a little bit, so we'll have game 2 as the teams opted to play a doubleheader today to avoid some incoming bad weather tomorrow. We'll have that one for you in ACC Network Extra and the ESPN app. And then you can catch game 3 right back here on ACC Network Sunday at noon, followed by the series finale on ACC Network Extra. Runner going to third, and she is in safely.
And this is what Florida State does. It's called ball in the dirt. The minute that ball's in the dirt, even though Chung is heading toward third base, there is no hesitation from Florida State through the lineup. Remember, Mudge came in at the pinch hit single, and now she's all the way to third base thanks to some aggressive base running.
Another pinch hitter for the Seminoles is Emma Wilson, and she sends it over the fence. Welcome to the game, Emma Wilson.
But one of the most excited times you're going to see a team is when you have a pinch hitter come off the bench like Emma Wilson and take it yard. It was a no-doubter, balanced swing. She gets full extension on the ball, a statement swing as Florida State adds 3 more runs, and they're now in double digits.
Got to double check, making sure as Lonnie Alameda not afraid to bring in those pinch hitters, and why not? This is Elizabeth Mason at the plate, but Wilson, that was her first hit of her career. She was 0 for 4. She is a pitcher. That's where she's seen most of her time this season, is in the circle for Florida State. Now, how about a pinch hit home run as your first collegiate hit?
And you know how it is. If you're a pitcher out there listening, the next thing you're doing is lobbying to get in that lineup on a full-time basis. You know, you want to be in that DP spot. But what an exciting moment for Emma Wilson. The whole dugout is excited for her. And we all understand why, with her first career home run.
Mason has her ball caught out in left by Greenwood. You think about how close this game was. It started pretty evenly, Carol, for both of these teams. No score through 2, and then just a single run by Florida State in the 3rd, single run by Florida State in the 4th. Louisville still very much in it, but the Cardinals had a couple of miscues defensively. Florida State pounced on them, and then Louisville now has not had a base runner since the 2nd inning.
And credit Florida State with putting a lot of pressure on the Louisville defense to create those miscues and those errors. Should have kept a tally today, and looking how many extra bases Florida takes. A base hit to the right side with a runner at 1. They're going all the way to 3rd. You know, we saw 2 runs scored on a ball back to the backstop, just constantly taking that extra base and pushing the envelope.
Danny Morgan hits it over to short. The throw does get there in time from Servey. 2 down in the inning.
And after giving up that home run, Peyton Hudson has come back. You like to see what your pitchers do, and kind of what I call outs after damage. You know, you had something happen. You know, what did you do? Did you find a way to get the next batter out? She's got 2 quick outs here in the 7th.
Back at the top of the order now. 5th time through for Kirsten Landers. Of course, seeing a different pitcher in Hudson. 2 for 4 already today. Landers in the dirt to 2nd. Inning over, but Florida State going to their bench, getting a pinch hit home run for some fireworks.
Emma Wilson coming off the bench, the big swing. It's a 3-run home run. Florida State up 10. All Seminoles.
7th ranked Seminoles pouring it on here late in this game. They've scored at least a run in every inning since the 3rd, but they've scored 8 in the last 3 to just bust this game 1 open in this series at Louisville. See Flaherty moved over to shortstop, so a little bit of shuffling in the infield for the Seminoles. Rebecca Chung, the batter. Bottom of the 7th, Louisville Cardinals probably realizing not going to be able to salvage much out of game 1, but game 2 coming up approximately 30 minutes after the completion of this one. You can find that on ACC Network Extra on the ESPN app. Carol and I looking forward to continuing this series. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Chung strikes out.
Watson's done a nice job coming in relief. This pitch is tailing up and away from Chung. She's late on the swing. And looks like we're going to have another pitching change here for Florida State.
So job well done by Watson. And Lonnie Alameda is going to now give an opportunity to the pinch hitter, the home run pinch hitter. Emma Wilson, you hit a home run, might as well put you out in the circle after the fact.
Well, she's got to have some adrenaline going. She might pick up a little more velocity. Will Watson now in the circle.
Back in action, bottom of the 7th in Louisville, Kentucky. 1 out for the Cardinals. Hurst the batter, and our pitcher, Emma Wilson.
Florida State getting the opportunity to really get a little more work for their bullpen here in this game. I like this move by Coach Alameda. Again, you have to come in down the road in this series. You're called upon. You've got a feel of the pitcher's plate out there. You've got a feel of the dirt, the circle. Kind of get those nerves out in this particular ball game. And you don't get the opportunity to do this very often, and that's just been something very different about this 2021 season, with teams not playing as big of a non-conference schedule, not playing as many preseason tournaments. You know, they didn't get a chance to develop that depth, especially their younger pitchers in the bullpen. And it's very difficult to develop during a conference season. You know, you just don't get that many opportunities. You've got to go with your top pitchers day in and day out. So Wilson's getting an opportunity here late in the game.
Hurst sends it to left, and that is Mudge who'll make the catch. There have been changes at just about every defensive position here for Florida State. Mudge is in left, Morgan still in center, Landers in right, and then several shifts in the infield as well. Harding over there at third. Charlie Butler had a single in her first at bat in the 2nd inning. And you'd think, Carol, even though it's late, take your eyes off the scoreboard for a second and just think for Louisville, the fact that they have had 17 straight retired now. It would just give them a bit of confidence just to get a base runner. Butler sends his ball deep. They're not going to get it. Mudge makes the catch, and the Florida State Seminoles, a dominant Game 1 performance.
And a true team performance. We saw a lot of pitchers